Paul Rudd and Tim Robinson team up in A24's latest film, Friendship. Directed by Andrew DeYoung and also starring Kate Mara and Jack Dylan Grazer, Friendship follows our main character Craig as he saunters through a seemingly mundane life and an unhappy marriage. But when Craig has a positive run-in with his new neighbor Austin, he sees the potential of a blossoming friendship, and he puts all his chips into that friendship, attempting to build a life of excitement and thrills. Now, if you're familiar with Tim Robinson's style of humor or a fan of I Think You Should Leave on Netflix, which is his comedy sketch show, then you're aware of how specific and unique his brand of humor actually is. A lot of people either love it or hate it. So watching a couple of skits from I Think You Should Leave is actually a great litmus test for whether or not you're going to enjoy this movie, because this is Tim Robinson on full display. He is the star of the show, he steals the show. This movie at times actually feels like a collection of skits, and personally, I absolutely love that about the movie because I'm a huge fan of Tim Robinson and his show. This movie pulled out so much genuine laughter from me. It was such a blast watching it. The relationship between his wife, Kate Mara, and his son is just so creepy and strange in the way that they portray it. But it just makes you laugh because you see the way that Tim Robinson is just watching things happen and like responding to it. There's a scene where Tim Robinson is just ordering a sandwich from a Subway, and it's one of the funniest scenes I can remember in recent history. So yeah, the movie does oftentimes feel like I said, a bit of a collection of sketches from I Think You Should Leave. And I do think that sometimes does hinder the pacing a little bit. You don't always really know where it's going because you do have these kind of skit type scenes that don't necessarily feel like they're building the narrative. But there's a strangeness to this movie and its themes and its plot overall that I actually do think that the script and the story do reel it back in and fit very nicely into this narrative. I was actually impressed with how cohesive the movie felt in the end and how many things that were set up earlier actually came back into play later in the film. This is also an A24 movie, which if you're familiar with A24 films, they've started to kind of create a brand of style and tone to their movies. The tone of this film does actually start to edge on being a bit of a horror movie or psychological thriller without fully going there. It's just this kind of underlining tension and tone to it. But that actually complements the style of humor of Tim Robinson so well that this marriage of A24 style feel and his humor is really, really effective. This movie tonally and thematically actually really reminded me of a recent A24 film called Dream Scenario with Nicolas Cage. If you haven't seen that, you should actually go check out that movie. I thought that was fantastic. But this actually plays with similar themes of envy and prioritizing the wrong things over the relationships that maybe do actually matter in your life. I'm surprised at how much I actually emotionally connected with Craig and his relationship with Austin and his family. I actually found it to be quite moving. I noticed in the credits that Paul Rudd was also one of the producers of the films. If you are a big Paul Rudd fan, if that's why you're going to see the movie, is to see some of his humor. He's great in the movie, but he definitely takes a backseat to the Tim Robinson character. He really is the main character throughout the film. This to me is definitely a must-see. I actually want to go see it again. The strange kind of story that it has, the layered themes behind it, I feel like there's actually so much more to go dig out of it. Of course, because there are so many laughs throughout it, there's plenty of jokes I feel like I could have easily missed that I want to go back and see it again for that reason. So if you're a fan of Tim Robinson, or if you're interested in dark comedy or offbeat humor, then you should go check out Friendship. I'm going to have to give this movie an A. I thought it was an absolute blast. Go check it out. I had a great time watching it, and it makes me really happy that Tim Robinson was able to take on a starring role in a film that actually played to his strengths and prioritized his sense of humor and was really effective in my opinion. So if you guys have seen the movie, let me know what you think in the comments or what you think of Tim Robinson. The other big movie that came out this weekend was Mission Impossible. Check out my review for that right here. And as always, we'll catch you in the next video. Talk to you soon.